with signs in tow. These residents made their voices heard Saturday, fighting to stay in their homes.
They have no answers for our community. Only thing they want to do is find ways to take.
The city of Villa Rica wants to extend the Mirror Lake connector through the spot where homes currently sit. The goal is to connect the Douglas County side of Villa Rica to the downtown area. But residents say they're not leaving, with many of these families owning these homes for decades.
They're not going to take it. They're going to have to pay for it. But we don't want to move. My sister and them don't want to move, and they will not.
They've been talking for more than a year saying they don't want this. Residents from Mirror Lake have even come over and said, we didn't ask for this. But yet they have willfully continued to push this forward.
Residents also say there's been a lack of transparency from the city. Back in December at a community meeting, interim city manager Diana DeSanto said the project was needed due to growth in the area. In that meeting, she also said she hopes to come to a compromise with residents. She told Fox 5 days later she wished the city had been more open about their plans from the beginning.
I wish we'd done better. I wish we'd done a better job of communicating from the very beginning.
Residents say they will continue to speak out.
They're displacing a whole bunch of people. My daddy is a disabled veteran, served his country, and now has to worrying about if he has a place to go.
The mayor of Villa Rica did not wish to comment on today's protest. We also are still waiting to hear back from the interim city manager. At the live desk, Kim Loeffler, Fox 5 News.
Wow. I was in Villa Rica. I said Villa Rica. It said Villa Rica. I was in Villa Rica last week, driving through because I'm planning to move to Georgia this summer. And I seen that connector they were talking about. I seen that when they were building it. Now they trying to connect it to downtown. And if you live in Georgia, you know what Villa Rica is. It's like it's on I-20, and it's like, okay, I said like this is like 15 miles away from Atlanta. It's in Atlanta metro area, but yeah, man. And you notice one thing about those people on there too? They were black. It's like they've been doing this forever, like building road projects and taking destroying people's homes, just taking their homes, destroying them to build new stretches of road because Atlanta is vastly growing. The Atlanta metro area is vastly growing. And, I got a few questions. First of all, this woman, I guess the city official said, we should have did better. We should have did better. Well then, bitch, why you didn't have a meeting with these people in this area to discuss this? Like, why y'all just think cause y'all got power. Like, these people pay city taxes, property taxes for these homes, like, and you trying to take them away. So what, like the communication wasn't even there. They just, fuck them, fuck these black people. Let's take their land away and build these new highways, that lead to these $700,000-$800,000 homes. Because to be honest with you, like, if you drove around Atlanta metro area, it's a lot of homes, nice upscale homes. So, and second of all, my second question is that like, where are these people gonna go if because you have to take the homes off, you have to destroy the homes to build this new roadway. Like, where are these people gonna go? Are you gonna give them a check? How much that check gonna be? If it's like black people used to say, if it's 50 cents, like they homeless, like and they own homes, so they have to downgrade to an apartment. Like, it's a mess, and I hope they don't fucking do this, man. I hate to be like this, but I have to be blunt. They won't do this to fucking white neighborhoods. See, Villa Rica is a plurality black neighborhood. So a black city. So yeah, plurality. So yeah, it's bullshit. But like I said with the interstate highway system, like this has been happening for a long time. It's been happening. They've been taking away. They've been raking. They took away so many black people's homes to build the interstates we have now. Like especially in Birmingham, Alabama, Interstate 20. Like obviously the west side of Birmingham. Like they have to build the interstates. Like a lot of people lost their homes. So that's wealth. Like black people. That's why the wealth inequality in this country is so low for black people, because the interstate highway system played a big part of that. not only, corporations fucking us over, like they giving us crumbs, but yeah, yeah, we need interstate highways because more people, back then, the idea was, be faster to get to places and all that stuff. But yeah, fuck them black people. Let's not even discuss it with them, or let's give them a little check. They probably didn't even do nothing. Like these people probably had to move in with relatives or leave the fucking city. So yeah, yeah, that pisses me off, man. And a few years ago, I remember my mama, she lived in Mississippi, and I remember they were planning to do that same thing they did to those people, but it didn't go through. I'm glad it didn't. To build a new road project in her city, they offered $30,000 for a home that she inherited from my grandma. $30,000. Like, what's she gonna do with $30,000? Like, yeah, it'd be a down payment for a home, but I mean, like the house is already paid for, so she has to get a mortgage. Like, you're not buying a home with $30,000. So yeah, man, this happens all the time. This is just not only in Georgia. This is everywhere. But when I find more stuff like that, I'm gonna talk about it because people need to know about this stuff. So I got this other story right here. Shout out to this worker. Um, Apparently Microsoft celebrating their 50th anniversary with celebrating their 50th anniversary, I guess, 50 years, something like that, and Microsoft is dirty. That's why I don't use the AI Copilot, because Microsoft been, using that. Israel been using Microsoft's AI to do what they're doing in Gaza. So, but anyway, here we go.
What's not much shame on you? You say you claim that you care about using AI for good, but Microsoft sells AI weapons to the Israeli military. 50,000 people have died, and Microsoft powers this genocide in our region.
Thank you for your protest. I hear you.
I
hear your protest. Thank you.
Shame on you. You are a war profiteer.
I hear you.
Stop
Thank
using
you.
AI for genocide, Mustafa. Stop using AI for genocide in our region. You have blood on your hands. All of Microsoft has blood on its hands. How dare you all celebrate when Microsoft is killing children? Shame on you all.
I mean, yeah, he had blood on his hand. Mustafa. Yeah. He has blood on his hands. I mean, like every day in Gaza's news of Palestinians, that from the Israeli bombshell, you can see Palestinians fly in the air, and you see that um, the journalists getting murdered intentionally. Like they have targets on their back, obviously, right? In the tents they was like resting in, just getting murdered. I hope I'm agnostic. I'm not an atheist or nothing, but I really hope all these people that made these big tech companies that make all the weapons and all that stuff, and Microsoft, Google too as well, Apple, pretty sure Apple's in this as well. I really hope there's a special place for them in hell, man. Like I'm just like that's what I'm at now. Like it's come to a point in time to where like that man just sitting on that stage, Microsoft 50th anniversary, yeah, and and he ain't listening to what she was saying. I bet he's saying in his head, somebody get this woman out of here. That's what they think. Like they like he's a prick. He's an arrogant prick. He's an arrogant prick, man. Arrogant prick. And, I hope there's a special place for hell for him. All of these people, man. All of these people that are contributing to the murder of Palestinian women and children. It hurts. It hurts my heart, man. It really does. Silence is complicity too. Like DJ Khaled, yeah, he's not contributing to the genocide, but his silence is he's so silent about it you know, he might as well. I mean, I'm just saying. So yeah, I'll show y'all those two clips. Yeah, man. It's wild. Anyway, have some welcome to the Good Faith Show on the ATP Network. I'm Andre Morton. Shameless plugs. Follow the ATP Network Twitter account. The handle for that is at ATP Network 247. And also follow the ATP Network crew. I keep forgetting to add Damien. Damien, he's back on the network, so I want to try to get in touch with Damien and try to maybe he'll make his show again, original Comic Corner, or what But anyway, follow us right there and like the video. It don't cost you a damn thing to like the video. I don't know what's so hard. Some of you guys don't like the video. Like our YouTube channel is very, very small. So like YouTube is actively suppressing us. Like ever since we got that copyright strike on YouTube, it's like our channel's been shot. Like, and then YouTube almost gave us another copyright strike, but they reversed that. And God forbid, maybe they forgot to, who knows, man. Yeah, like that, yeah. So when y'all like the video, man, that's how we fight the algorithm. You gotta like the video. And also, if you're on Twitter, guys, like we get a good bit of amount of people on Twitter watching. Please move on to the ATP Network YouTube channel or Rumble channel. Like, see, it's more than one option. I believe in choice. Like, the more y'all watch the clips and stuff, the more our channel will grow. So, and thank you guys so much. I don't say this enough, but thank you guys so much for watching my black ass. And thank you for watching the A&M podcast. We didn't do a episode last week, but we will do one today. We'll record today and tomorrow will come out. So yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, man, I got off talking to Liz. She's trying to, we trying to help her move to Ohio. And that's the only place of happiness. Only place to have happiness. She's drowning down there in Florida. That's why I say people that are not going to contribute to her fundraiser just need to keep their mouth shut. Like, if you ain't going to, nobody asks for your opinion. I don't know, people think we are just clowns on here, a joke or what, but we are human, man. Like, people take that shit to heart. You smearing me, smearing her, I just don't understand. But, I ain't mean to get into that type of realm, but okay, so, excuse me, y'all. Man, allergies. So, I'm going to talk about today. Florida, in the news again. Damn, boy, Florida just I was on that bullshit. Oh, God, Florida's like the limp dick of America. I said that to myself yesterday at work. I said, Florida's like the limp dick of America. That's really what it is. Then we got timwalz reacts to Kamala Harris on she's saying, I told you so, which, Kamala, you wouldn't be no different either. But I get one to that. And Trump, an op-ed about Trump playing a dangerous game with Iran. So yeah, again, guys, like the video, and let's get right to it. All right, guys. So this is from Orlando Weekly. And before I get to this, shout out to JB Front. He's the first one to talk about this. So I always give people credit when credit is due, because that's fair. I believe in fairness. I'm pretty sure you watch his him talking about this on RBN. So you got to give him his credit. Anyway, it says Florida House okays bill that loosens defamation protections, require removal of certain online articles. Certain online articles, man. Yeah, and also you mean online videos as well. It's articles, but this could mean a various amount of things. People don't like Ron DeSantis. So if you talk about Ron DeSantis, even though, defamation is kind of like a complicated thing to begin with. And then on top of that, they can say, hey, he defaming me, so he have to remove that. Well, he gonna get sued. Yeah. I'm finna read the article and I'm finna break it down. Here we go. It says a bill to loosen defamation lawsuit restrictions advanced in the Florida House Thursday with support from Democrats who said they have been targets of false information spread online. Democrats. Oh wow. Oh God, false information spread about me online. Oh God, these motherfuckers are so snowflakes, man. Like, bro, people said I'm all of this stuff. You know what people said about me online? And I'm a little bitty baby online Twitter account, for example. Like, like, yeah, like when you have a following or you're a notable figure, like you're a politician or celebrity, people gonna say shit about you. Like, I mean, like, what's the big deal? Like, it's called growing thick skin. My thing is, if you don't want to be talked about, don't be in the spotlight. Like, I'm in the spotlight right now. I'm pretty sure somebody go talk about my ass or whatever down the road. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, do I care? My thing is, you can say you can call me every name in the book. As long as you don't dox my family, dox me, dox my friends or whatever. Like, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, who fucking cares, bro? Who cares? Like, oh God, misinformation, false information. Like, okay. Oh God. For 3 years, the Florida legislature has considered GOP-backed bills making it easier to sue news organizations for defamation. Excuse me, guys. But this proposal is drawing wider support from Democrats, with Tallahassee Democratic Representative Allison Tant co-sponsoring the House measure. The Senate and House proposals would compel news outlets to take down content from their websites within days of notification that the published information is false or outdated. Failure to remove content will open them to defamation lawsuits. So really, to be honest with you, like JB said in his video, he said RBN is a news organization. That's true. In ATP Network, even though we irrelevant as of right now, we are a news organization because I'm reporting the news right there to you. So I mean, right there. So yeah, like, and she lives in Florida right now. So if we say something about a Florida politician or whatnot, and they see it, and they can say, um, it will be consequences for talking about Ron DeSantis or somebody like that. Like, this is wild. Man. It says, excuse me, guys. St. Petersburg Democratic Representative Michelle Ranner supports the bill, saying she didn't understand why the media wants to keep false information on the internet. I mean, how, like, okay, so you saying that, you know, calling you out your name is false. I think that's what they talking about in a way. Like, she's a Zion, no, not a Zion. She's a dictator, for example. Um, but okay, like, people get called like that all the time. It don't mean it don't mean that it's defaming you. Like for example, what defamation is to me. Like, if somebody accused me of being I don't want to say it because people take shit and run with it. A pedophile, for example, like they did this other guy here. Um, accuse him of being a pedophile too. Accuse somebody of being a pedophile, and you should say it over and over and over again. Like, yeah, that's defaming my character because pedophiles are horrible, horrible, horrible people. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't have no record of being that, and I'm not a pedophile. Like, that's an example of defamation. But if somebody say you stupid, or you crazy, or you crazy kind of, I cutting it close. You know what I'm saying about defamation? It's kind of, wishy-washy, or shut up, asshole. Like, that's not defamation. Oh God, these people don't just. Oh God, but these are the same people that said freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. I bet these people that support this bill, these Democrats, I bet they the same ones that support um you know that support um you know what happened to Mahmoud Khalil. Like, I really believe that. Let me continue. It says, I've got people on the internet and say atrocious things about me. welcome to my world, fool. Things that are not actually true, and I have to sit here and say, well, can't do anything about it. That's right, you can't do nothing about it. Like, people always gonna say shit about you. Like, somebody just called me and Liz a scam artist because I'm trying to help her see happiness. Like, she's getting older. You know, she has 2 kids. Like, you know, she cares for her kids, but I'll say, like, me as myself is like, hey, you and the kids deserve happiness. But, people call us scam artists because we are asking for money online. And we're not even begging for money. We just asking for money online. But, now, does being called a scam artist is defamation? But, I mean, you gotta prove it. My thing is, you gotta prove that I'm a scam artist. Prove it. What proof do you have that I'm a scam artist? Okay. And also too, like, I think, again, like I said, if you in the public eye and people say shit about you, you can't take it because of your feelings. Get offline. Get off the internet. Get out of the public eye, man. God damn, boy. I'm a state representative lawyer. I could file my own motion and do what I need to do. The House Civil Justice and Claims Subcommittee advanced the bill unanimously with 4 Democrats in support, despite warnings it amounts to censorship. The bill was inspired by the case of a Miami man who's been accused of molesting a child, only see the charges dropped. A TV station refused his request to scrub the story from its website. But how does defamation if they say that, hey, this man is accused. He's accused. Like, if they said that he did it, and they didn't say he accused of that, yeah, but, okay, I gotta watch what I say, told you too. Sometimes innocence doesn't erase the fact that an arrest and charge occurred, said Bobby Block, executive director of the First Amendment Foundation. They may be inconvenient facts, but they are true. And if we are to buy to the bill's line, we would have to erase the O.J. Simpson car chases and every report on Casey Anthony from history. It says Barry Richard, a prominent Tallahassee lawyer who represented that Miami man, said the change is necessary because of the permanence of the internet. God, the internet. Rich is married to Tant, the House co-sponsor. The proposal will allow suits for up to 20 years after the publication of an article. If you now have a reason to know it's not true, you can't keep it up. What is the public interest in keeping this story up for 7 years and ruining a person's life? Barry asked the panel Thursday. It says Democrats support the bill has been more limited in the Senate, where only Rosalind Ogard of Broward County has supported it in committee. So yeah, man. That's it. So yeah, that's a short article. Shout out to JB for finding that first, and I, wanted to talk about it. But yeah, man, I'm not done yet on this topic. I got a video for it, but yeah, it's like, to me, that by doing this, basically, like, that just wipes out everything that us as political commentators do. Like, you could say anything's defamation. Like, I could call Ron DeSantis a dictator, and they could say, hey, that's defamation. You gotta take that off your YouTube channel. But I could, okay, but if I say Benjamin Netanyahu is a dictator, at least I can back that up with facts, because apparently, as of right now, he's killing journalists in Gaza. So, yeah, like, one thing JB said too, like whatever happens in Florida, it spreads like wildfire. Like, if this passes in the Florida legislature, then it could go to Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas. Like, So basically, we can't criticize anybody because because it's defamation. But okay, so let me get to this video on YouTube. This guy explains what defamation is. Um, um, so yeah, I'm gonna play it and give my thoughts on it. Here we go.
Defamation, and how slander and libel play into the defamation rule. The landmark Supreme Court case is New York Times versus Sullivan. We won't go too in depth with New York versus Sullivan in this video, but I do intend to create a case brief for New York Times versus Sullivan in the near future. So let's look at the elements of defamation. There's either 4 or 6 elements when trying to prove defamation. Your regular run-of-the-mill defamation is only 4 elements, and when the defamation concerns a matter of public concern, well, then you get the 2 other layers of defamation. So here are the elements. There first must be defamatory language. It must be of and concerning the plaintiff, which is the person bringing suit. Publication of that defamatory statement by the defendant to a third person. And then there must be damage.
So basically, a good example of it is, I call so-and-so a pedophile, and they see that, and then they take me to court. I said it on YouTube. YouTube is a public square. And this person is a notable figure. Okay, without saying he's alleged. See, if I say he's allegedly been a pedophile, then and then it changes. But if I just say that, then yeah. But again, it's like, okay, I thought about Cardi B took somebody to court over defamation. Some YouTuber, I forgot who that person was. Was it Amber K? Somebody like that? Amber K? I don't remember what the person was, but I do. Yeah, I remember that. It was a few years ago. Like, yeah, Cardi B, I think she did took her to court over that. Like, yeah, like Cardi B, she has a reputation. She's a rapper. I'm not a Cardi B fan, but people like her. But she's a notable figure, and that person said some defamatory language about her. So, I mean, okay, but it's still tricky. Like defamation it's hard to prove in court. Like, you gotta have a good reason. Like, if a troll on Twitter call me something, maybe not a pedophile but something else, like a scam artist, then like I go to a lawyer, they gonna say, really, some random person on Twitter call you that? Like, a lot of people, I probably gonna see him calling me that. So it's like, it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? It gotta be something like huge. But anyway, back to this.
Damage to the plaintiff's reputation. As I previously said, if the matter is of public concern, meaning something that the public would find value in, then 2 other elements must be proved, and that is falsity of the defamatory language and fault on the part of the defendant. So let's look at each element and break it down. When it comes to defamatory language, the meaning of defamation is anything that really harms a person's reputation. Next, we come to the of and concerning the plaintiff. The defamatory statement must relate to the plaintiff.
But anything can fall into that. Call somebody crazy, or they're stupid. Like, but my thing is that, like, I mean, like, people call each other names all the time. Like, that's probably why these laws are what they are, because hell, if you losing the defamation, the case of defamation, then hell, everybody be goddamn trying to sue everybody. Like, come on, man. But anyway, let me continue.
It can't be about the plaintiff's sister, the plaintiff's brother. It has to be about the plaintiff. And there's an interesting little side twist in there when it comes to groups. So a group can bring a lawsuit for defamation if a defamatory statement refers to all members of a small group. A good number to keep in mind is about 15 people or so. If the statement is about a large group, then no member can really prove that the statement is of and concerning them. And finally, if the statement is about some members of a small group, well, then the person bringing the defamation claim may be able to show that a reasonable person could view the statement as pertaining to the plaintiff. Next, we come to publication. Publication is really a term of art. It doesn't necessarily require that the statement be posted on the internet or written or published in a book. It's really any kind of communication by any method when it's communicated to one or more people who actually understand it. So if you're at a party and everybody in that party speaks English, except you and your friend who speak Portuguese, and you scream out in Portuguese something defamatory about your friend, well, you did publicize it, you did make a publication, and it was to a third person, but it wasn't able to be understood. And publication can either be intentional or negligent.
That's crazy. Like, yeah, like maybe somebody joking or something. Like, you know, people joke all the time. We say shit, you know, but yeah, that's why the laws are the way they're written. Like, and that kind of see how thorough that is. Like, I'm in a room of people and I speak Spanish. You know, call somebody a word, you know, defame them in Spanish, and everybody else speak English. They're like, what? And you can't take them to court because they didn't understand what I was saying. See how wishy-washy this shit is. Yeah, you know, also too, I did know, yeah, it's more than just the internet or a book, obviously. Like, yeah, it could be any, like, situation, like, you know, but, yeah.
Intentional publication is where the defendant's intent was to defame this person. They intentionally spoke something or wrote something about the plaintiff. Negligent publication, for example, occurs when an individual types up a defamatory email intending just to save it on their computer, let's just say. Well, mistakenly, they press send and it goes to the whole entire company. Just an example. And then you must show damage to the plaintiff's reputation. Now, this is where our slander or libel comes in. The easy way to remember the difference is I like to look at the S and take the S in slander, and that's how I keep them separate in my mind. Slander is spoken, while libel is written defamation. And whether the defamatory language is slander or libel really goes to the heart of damages and what kind of damages that the plaintiff can recover. So for libel, which is our written defamation, the plaintiff does not need to prove any kind of special damages or general damages. Now, that's not the same for slander. When it comes to slander, which is our spoken defamation, the plaintiff's going to have to prove special damages. Unless that defamation, that's...
So basically, you gotta... this libel is there. Like, what happened to Cardi B, that was libel. Like, it's on internet, you know, they can pull it up, you know, okay, but yeah, slander, like if I tell somebody that, hey, this person is this and that, they gotta have, yeah, they gotta have proof that I said that. Okay, it makes sense.
Slander falls into one of four categories or one of four types. The first type being that the defamation reflects adversely on business or professional conduct. The second being that someone has a loathsome disease. The third, that someone is guilty of a common law crime or a crime of moral turpitude. And finally, it's defamatory to accuse a woman of being unchaste at common law. Okay, so our other two elements, the falsity and fault, come into play when there's a matter of public concern at the heart of that defamatory statement. You still must prove the four elements we just spoke about, but then you have to ask yourself, can the plaintiff prove that the defamation was false? If they can, then you have to prove fault on the part of the defendant. Here's where it gets a little hairy. If the plaintiff is a public figure or some sort of public official, then this is where the New York Times versus Sullivan comes in. You have to prove actual malice on the part of the defendant. If it's a private individual, someone unknown to...
See what I'm saying? It's difficult. See, you gotta prove malice because hey, they out in the open. I get that's what that case back in the 1964 was saying. Like, hey, was there any malice intent? So yeah, man. Like, so yeah, like again, like if I say something about Ron DeSantis, I accuse him of something, he could say like, hey, that defamation, you better take that down or, you know, we'll come after you. What Florida trying to do is they basically trying to make these laws very soften the laws up so they can actually just keep us from speaking truth to power. Like, this is what it's all about. And somebody said a good question too, like, could this be about Israel as well? Could be. I mean, yeah. Like I said, these people could be Zionists. Like, you know, you don't know, but almost done this.
To anyone, well, you can either prove there was actual malice on the defendant's part or there was negligence on the defendant's part. So that's how we prove defamation. But there are some defenses the defendant can raise, and these are known as privileges. So our absolute privileges are the executive privilege, and this concerns communications by the president as well as some other members of his executive branch. Judicial privileges, and these are protections from comments by a judge or a lawyer or parties or witnesses, but the comments must be made and related to the case, the ongoing case. And then there's the legislative privilege. And this privilege applies to the legislative branch of government. For example, if the speaker is participating in a legislative proceeding. And then you have your qualified privileges. And there's 3 of the qualified privileges as well. You have a privilege to protect yourself, protect others, or protect a group or common interest. When protecting yourself, the speaker may make a statement in order to protect their own personal interests. For example, if you're walking down the street and someone picks your pocket, or you believe someone picked your pocket, and you point to someone in a crowd and say, that man stole my wallet. Well, you may be mistaken, but you had a privilege because you were protecting your personal interest. You have a privilege when you protect others, when the speaker is actually trying to protect some other person's interest. For example, a lady thinks she saw someone steal your wallet, and she says in a crowd, hey, that man just stole his wallet. Finally, there's a protection.
See? So basically, like he said, I'm just going to repeat what he said. if somebody took my wallet, and I say, hey, he took my wallet, but he didn't take my wallet, he can't sue me for defamation because it's like a kind of a conflict of interest. Like, hey, my property got taken from me, so you know I'm in a trying to gather shit, you know, trying to see what the fuck going on, who did this, who did that. So this is why people don't sue much for defamation. But yeah, man, this is scary, man. If Florida gets away with this, you don't think other states gonna do it? Like, you know, we don't have freedom of speech in this country, man. Like, I think the reason why they doing this, they want to limit people like us, people that do news, political commentary. They don't want us to, you know, slander Ron DeSantis, and y'all know good and damn well Ron DeSantis, if this gets to his desk, he's gonna sign it. It's a law, so. So yeah, you could bet that, man. Like, yeah, man, we never had free speech to begin with, but I mean, like, if somebody say, hey, free speech under attack, well, it's under attack in Florida. All right, guys, on to the next story. All right, guys, before I get to this next video, be sure to leave a like, hit the like button on the video. It helps us out in the algorithm, and it don't cost you a damn thing. So hit that like, guys. So yeah, man. Walz back in the news, man. He reacts to what Kamala Harris said. She basically said She's basically bluffing, basically saying, "You should have voted for me. All this stuff wouldn't be happening." Like, again, it's like, I mean, like, you'll think like she's gonna make the system, she's gonna change the system for the better, which she's not. Like, she has billionaire donors too. Like, yeah, they wouldn't bluntly cut Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare, but will the system change so that you make it like a UBI based system or Medicare for all? Like, hell no, it's still gonna be the same shit. And probably sprinkle a little privatization in there too, especially with Medicare. Like, did Biden try? Did Biden try to push for that too? Try to privatize Medicare? So yeah, miss me with this shit. But Tim Walz said something, so let's see.
Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
What does "I told you so" really mean here? I mean, people heard her message. They did not vote for her. She lost every battleground state. You yourself have...
Man, what happened to the media, man? They ask these little pillow-ass questions. What does "I told you so" mean, man? I don't even know what that means. Now all corporate media is cutting the Trump a little bit, so they can't really go at him. I don't know what she talking about. Dude, we know what she means. She said, I'm gonna let it continue. They know what she said. They just being stupid, trying to be stupid.
Criticized the Harris-Walz campaign for being too cautious. She may have told the American people, she may have warned the American people, but she didn't do it compellingly enough to win.
That is the absolute point. And look, when I criticize, I'm criticizing myself. I own this. I'm part of the ticket. And somebody has to come up with a strategy. I think this is exactly right. This is the thing. Look, Democrats.
He said he owned this. Like, bro, they didn't even have you out that much. Like, you did that little puff interview on CNN. I remember that. With that other Zionist woman, I forgot her damn name, but like, 'cause Kamala can't, like, Kamala did this to herself. She could say "I told you so" all you want to, but again, it's like you wasn't a good candidate. You wasn't a good candidate. But yeah, anyway.
Democrats, it was a good night in Wisconsin. I was over there. We saw that happen. Donald Trump's doing this. Just to be clear, nobody on the Democratic side is celebrating this, and those folks in the street are not celebrating that Donald Trump's making all these errors. I think what the vice president's saying is that was pretty self-evident that he was going to do that. I do think the challenge for Democrats, and this is, I think, a structural problem that's going to take a lot more thinking. Why, with all of that out there, did they not think we were any better than that? And they didn't. And I'm very concerned with the folks who stayed home. And these are folks that I'll say once again, Donald Trump has identified their angst. They can't buy a house. They can't afford to get a good education. They're concerned that their economic future is so precarious it could slip out from under them.
Wow. Damn. Hey, I don't really care for Tim Walz, but goddamn, he's right. He's right. Basically saying that Democrats haven't met the needs of the people. He's right. See, Donald Trump pretend to be populist on his campaign trail. He'll lower grocery prices. He'll, he pretended he was anti-war. He said that even though, see, we know Trump. See, us radical leftists know Trump is full of shit. So we know that, obviously, he wasn't going to do this, but he said he was going to end the Ukraine-Russia war in 24 hours, which is still ongoing now. Yeah, like, see, Trump knows the right things to say, but when he finally gets the power, he does the opposite. Democrats, they push farther to the right a lot. Like, hey, let's move farther to the right. Like, hey, like, that's what they do. Oh God, like, damn, Till, I tell the truth. I mean, he have to like say it in a mealy mouth way, because you don't want to alienate his former running mate, but like just say the quiet power loud, man. Democrats ain't got no fucking they ain't got no fuck what I'm about to say. Damn. They ain't got no strategy. That's what I mean to say, strategy.
Less than half of Americans have $1,000 in savings. And I think, why was it not so compelling? It should have been a slam dunk for us to say, we're the party that cares about that. We're the party that's going to protect Social Security and Medicare. We're the party that thinks.
Let's not forget that, Obama and Biden tried to cut Social Security. So, yeah, like, that's kind of hard. I mean, it's videos out there, people are waking up bit by bit, even though, yeah, I'm going to talk about that hands-off rally next. I got a lot to say about that, but yeah, man, like, you had no strategy. Like, Kamala Harris didn't offer nothing. She said she wouldn't change anything that Biden did, and I think that quote right there cost her the election. I think if Kamala Harris was halfway decent, I think she would have won. But because she's just toxic, she's a toxic person in general. Like, she's not a nice person, I heard. And then on top of that, y'all know what I mean by that. Like, yeah, you're not gonna win. And then timwalz, he being nice with it. He's not saying it out loud. See, I said the quiet part out loud. They have no strategy. Yeah, Trump is a fascist, but I mean, Kamala will be a fascist. I mean, the genocide in Gaza will still be happening. I mean, even though Trump, got partial credit for a ceasefire, which really wasn't a ceasefire because Israel was still killing Palestinians, but people forget about that. I hate when people say it really wasn't a ceasefire. Ceasefire means no killing at all. Like, stop. And they were still they're supposed to be, I remember parts of the ceasefire where Israel was not supposed to be around, on the border. Not border, but y'all know, y'all know what I'm saying. And they still was there, so, yeah. Let me finish. I'm almost done.
Thinks the ACA is a good start, but we need to do more on health care. And we didn't do that. So I'm concerned. Democrats do well in special elections and off-year elections, but the electorate that comes in presidential election years is different. When I was young, it was easy to know what a Democrat was. They stood with the working class and labor. Republicans were country club and for the rich. Today, you ask people, they don't. We have a 29% approval rating.
Yeah.
It doesn't help us any that Donald Trump ends up with a 25% approval rating. We have to get back to the core issues, that this is about making America prosperous and stable and innovative for everybody.
Okay, so basically he's saying the Democratic Party needs to get back to where they were before really Reagan era. Like, yeah, bro, that's not gonna happen. He said universal health care in one of those other videos that I played. But yeah, man, yeah. But the problem is that the Democrats and Republicans got the same donors, and both of them don't want, the donors don't want universal health care. They don't want, higher wage. They Democrats and Republicans are the same. That's why we call it the duopoly. And you got Kyle Kalinske saying that they're not the same. Yeah, dude, yes they are. Come on, man. I don't understand that guy, man. I just don't he talks good with Democrats sometime, and then comes to election he votes third party. That just don't make any sense. You really look at Kyle, you think he's a Democrat. He's just a Democrat, won't health care, but yeah. So yeah, that was timwalz right there. He's saying the right things, but you think the Democratic Party, you think if timwalz ran for president in 2028, which I don't think he would do, but they're not gonna let him do all this stuff, bro. Once you're in the club, you're in the club. You gotta do what they want you to do, or what they donors want you to do. You just can't. No, they don't want you to do things for the people. They want you to do things for the billionaires. See, the only difference between Democrats and Republicans, then I'm going to get to the next story, is that, the Republicans, they already tell you they ain't going to do shit for you. Hey, we going to cut shit, man. Fuck you. See, the Democrats, they tell you in your face, oh, we're going to improve your lives, then turn around and do the same shit the Republicans do. Not shit. That's the only difference. you could say Democrats stab you in the back. So that's why I don't really call out Republicans much, because they always tell me they ain't gonna never do shit. Even he said that, like, hey, Democrats will probably for the working class and Republicans is for the rich. Yeah, it used to be like that, but not anymore. Both of them for the rich and for the wealthy. Like they got the same donors. They get the same money for AIPAC too as well. Let's not forget that. Mr. Cory Booker, Mr. 25-hour and 5-minute speech. And somebody said something that was true. Like, I really do believe Cory Booker was wearing a diaper, man. Like, ain't no way you don't piss for 25 hours. Like, nah, that don't make any sense. But yeah, I'm getting kind of weird there, but oh God. All right, guys. Let me get to the next story. All right, guys, before I get to this next story, be sure to like the video. It's free, it don't cost you a thing. Yeah, like the video. I mean, this was anticipated. This was expected from liberals. See, this was what liberals do. I mean, like, this is what they do. They did this in 2017. Remember the Women's March and a few other marches? I remember the Women's March in 2017. Like, this is what they do. See, when Biden was in office, my thing is, like, he didn't keep his promises. He didn't raise the minimum wage. He didn't give us $2,000 stimulus checks. He broke a railroad strike. Why y'all went down the streets protesting Biden on that? And then the genocide. Some of you liberals claim that I'm on the Palestinian side, but as soon as Kamala Harris lost, y'all said forget them. They deserve what they get and all that stuff. Just heartless people, man. Like, some conservative people are fucked up. Some of you liberals, man. Some are just downright evil, man. But anyway, shout out to Democracy Now! It says, hands off. 1 million protests, Trump's cuts, attack on education, immigration, war on Gaza, and more. But the war on Gaza part, it turns out that a lot of pro-Palestine protests infiltrated the hands off protests. And I will say this, because I know somebody will say, it wasn't all that bad. Okay. Shout out to you, man. Like, good. That's what we need. That's why I had to find this on Democracy Now! Because I'm pretty sure CNN or MSNBC will not say the war on Gaza because they don't care. They pro-Israel. But anyway, it's a video here too. I'm going to play it as well.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. We look now at the massive protests that erupted Saturday as over 1 million people took to the streets nationwide to tell President Trump and billionaire Elon Musk hands off, saying no to the Trump administration's dismantling of federal agencies and social programs and its attacks on LGBTQ people, immigrants, education, healthcare, science, free speech, and reproductive rights. The coordinated hands-off protests are the largest demonstrations since President Trump returned to office. They took place across all 50 states and across the world. In Europe, thousands gathered in Berlin, Paris, and London to respond to Trump's sweeping tariffs, which have shocked the global economy. This is a banker speaking from London.
He's a horrible, small-minded person who is easily maneuvered. And the people who are maneuvering him are very, very, very dangerous. And he's very...
Wow, this is in London, too? Yeah, that's true what she said. But again, it's shout out to Liz for saying this. It's more than Trump. Like, see, this is what the liberals don't understand. Maybe they understand, they just want to be dumbfounded. It's like, yes, what Trump doing is tragic, okay? I will say that. I'm not going to sit here and say Trump is being great, which that's a fucking lie. It's more than Trump, bro. It's like, who's paying Trump to do this? A guy that did the Roman salute. He wants all this stuff to happen. That's why that's why they call him a special advisor to Trump, which is bullshit. Like, he's the de facto president, because their thing is, if you give somebody $250 million towards a campaign, you're buying your way into the White House. Like, it's him, it's Peter Thiel, all these other billionaires that control our country, they are the reason why it's a class war. Like, they started the class war. Like, this is a class war. It's not just Trump. Like, yeah, I talk about Trump every now and then. Like, when there's segment about him, about trying to fucking start a war or run. Yeah, we need more war. But it's layers to the corruption. But I'm gonna let it continue. This is a short clip anyway, so.
Very dangerous, but he's a small-minded and not, frankly, very smart person. So, no, I hope, I don't know what to hope. I just hope this is over soon.
Thousands also took to the streets across Canada to protest Trump's repeated threats of making Canada the 51st U.S. state. Demonstrators condemned Trump's remarks as a threat to Canadian sovereignty. This is a Vancouver.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Like, who wants to be the 51st state where we have a record number of homelessness? Now it's 772,000 people homeless. Some of the streets of America is run down. Trash everywhere, abandoned homes where those homes could be built into homes for the homeless to live in. Like, yeah, like America, yeah, we have some beautiful scenes here, and we have some horrible shit as well. And also too, like, yeah. Anyway, let me continue.
For a protester. Today, I'm out here to send a simple, clear message to the United States that we're not going to want to be a part of you. We're never going to want to be a part of you. This is very close to becoming a reality down there. Right now, we have our very own election, which is extremely scary with what we're seeing as being the unsaid messages from one side. And I'm here as a visual reminder to let people know that we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to sit quietly.
In the United States, there are over 1,200 protests like this one in Los Angeles.
Well, I've marched before when he first got elected a number of years ago, and I still can't believe that he got elected again. And I can't believe that he's tanking the economy and he's tanking the government, and it's all being done for him and for Elon.
But you know, I have a conspiracy theory on why Trump is taking the economy. I believe it's that he's trying to bottom out the top market so he can so his robber baron buddies could get rich. I really believe that. Like, I really believe that's why he's trying to tank the stock market. Yeah, I just had to bring that as a side piece as well.
Musk and all the billionaires and everybody else. It's not for me. It's not for the people who live in my neighborhood. It's for all of these billionaires. And I'm glad to see so many people came out today. I mean, we need it. I want more people to show up. And
shout out to those pro-Palestine protesters out there. That's the only positive thing about this. But yeah, besides, you know what the liberals think, it's all Trump, oh Trump, oh Trump. When it's more than Trump. It's him, but it's other actors along with it. Like, yeah. But anyway.
And get him out of office. He's
there
terrible.
were over 20 protests across the state of Colorado, like this one in Denver in the freezing cold, including former and current workers.
My name's Marina Connors, and this one says hands off public lands. I'm a retired National Park Service employee, and it's kind of, it's really hard to run the parks, and to do it under these circumstances is even more and more difficult.
I am a federal employee today, and hope that I can stay hope that I can stay employed so that I can continue to serve the American people who I swore to serve when I took my oath of office.
That federal worker covered her face, but her sign said, with her sign, it said, "I want DEI and..."
Oh God, is that a Ukraine flag? Oh my God. I think I said a Ukraine flag earlier. I didn't miss it. Oh God. Yeah, that's why I say these protests. Some of them, the pro-Palestine ones is the good ones, but if you see a Ukraine flag in there, yeah, that's a red flag. Like, it's still a lot of people don't understand why Russia did what they did. Like, I'm not a Russian agent, so I gotta watch what I say. people crazy. Like, I'm just a Russian nation. No, I'm not. But all Russia said was Russia don't want Ukraine to be. They want Ukraine to be a neutral buffer state. Because I don't blame Russia. Like they don't want NATO. Russia is part of BRICS. They don't want NATO pushing their weapons on their border. The fuck? Like, that sound like to me, Russia don't even want no fucking World War III. Come on, man. Anyway.
Schools, not measles. Protesters estimated to be in the tens of thousands gathered in Washington, D.C. in mass opposition to Trump's policies. A sea of banners and placards filled the Washington Mall, including signs that read, "Resist like it's 1938 Nazi Germany and fascism alive and well and living in the White House." Speakers included Congressmembers Ilhan Omar and Jamie Raskin.
They say, though, well, the number of courts striking down Trump's policies is completely unprecedented. Well, so what? That's only because the number of his illegal actions are completely unprecedented.
Man, Trump said, fuck the courts. We're going to do this shit anyway. Oh, come on, man.
The judges are doing their jobs. They're doing their jobs. Let's tell MAGA what democratic movements all over the world tell the dictators of the world. Hands off the courts. Hands off the courts.
Meanwhile, another protest Saturday in D.C. demanded an arms embargo against Israel and an end to the Gaza genocide and the release of Mahmoud Khalil, Rumeysa Öztürk, and other foreign university students and faculty who remain in ICE detention, targeted for their involvement in Palestinian rights protests. This is Mohammed Habeh from the American Muslims for Palestine.
I'm here today because for the past year and a half, we have seen the utter destruction going on in Gaza funded by American taxpayer dollars. We've seen it in the previous administration, and we see now that Donald Trump is continuing and making it worse for the people in Gaza. After a month of fasting in the month of Ramadan, we saw that the people in Gaza were suffering a famine, as well as seeing Israel break the ceasefire and begin massacring Palestinians throughout the month and on the day of Eid. I'm here today because I want the people of Gaza to see that the American people will not accept this, that the American people will stand up against our government as they continue to support this genocide.
My name is Eugene Perrier. I'm with the Answer Coalition, and we're demanding the immediate end of the genocide in Gaza. The U.S. should stop all of its forms of complicity and facilitation of that genocide and do everything in its power to bring it to an end immediately. And we're also demanding the release of the students who have been taken off the streets, abducted, and jailed simply for standing with the Palestinian people, and for all those who have been repressed because of the steps they've taken to stand up for the right of self-determination and liberation of Palestine, to have all charges, all lawsuits, or anything like that dropped, and allow people to speak up and speak out against this genocide.
All right, so I'm gonna end it there, man. Y'all got the gist of it. Man. So here's my thoughts on the hands-off protest over the weekend. Well, I couldn't go to one anyway because I had to work. But let me say this. Let me start with the pro-Palestine protest. Right on, man. You get, as a Thai peasant seal of approval, you get the Andre Morton seal of approval. Like, keep doing them protests, man. Like, what's sad to really think about the protests, like, just a side note here, is that, a lot of these people are just peaceful protesters. Like, they just exercising their constitutional right? Like, you're supposed to have constitution, you're supposed to have laws, but, either a lot of these people have to worry about the police beating the hell out of them, or you have to worry about Zionists literally breaking these protesters up by using violence against these people. Like somebody would ever tell me going to a protest is dangerous. Like, I never would have thought of that. Like, me it is. Like, people protest all the time for stuff. But now, this is a special case of a protest. It's a legitimate protest, You don't agree on their side, then we have to use violence. But the liberals, man, they will they ever learn? Like, they making it about Trump. which is more than Trump. Like, it's levels to this shit, man. It's like, yeah, yeah. Like, it's the billionaire class. That's what's reason why all this stuff happening. The billionaires, they want to pay no taxes. They want to hoard all the wealth to themselves, and you know it's levels to this shit. Repeat myself because I'm just so flabbergasted, with what a lot of people think. A lot of people say, "Oh, Trump bad, get Trump out of here." Oh, like Elon bought his way. Like Elon wants to do this. Like Elon don't want to pay taxes. And then I heard that this woman, she have a son, and at his school, they're literally teaching these kids that billionaires are the ones that make America what it is, which is a damn lie. It's not the billionaires. It's us, the people. It's not the billionaires. The billionaires is exploiting us. They're not only exploiting us, they're exploiting these other countries of their resources, exploiting the people there. Like the Congo, for example. That's a good example of that. It's not the billionaires. Like, people gotta understand it's the billionaire class. It's a class war. It's more than Trump. It's a class war. Until liberals understand that, it's gonna be discourse between liberals and radical leftists. Oh man, it's just more than Trump though. Like, until they get that, you'll never understand. But again, like, shout out to the pro-Palestine protesters out there over the weekend. Y'all rock, man. Continue to do what y'all do. Hopefully it'll be a pro-Palestine rally in my area soon. I'm gonna go to one. I'm gonna document it because these days people accuse you of being a keyboard warrior and a grifter, which I'm not, but whatever. All right, guys, on to the next story. All right, guys, before I get to this next topic here, be sure to like the video. It helps us out in the algorithm, and it don't cost you a damn thing. So, like the video. If you don't, I'm gonna send the ghost of never mind. I'm gonna send the ghost of Andre to come after you, I guess. Hell, I don't know. I'm wilding, man. I bet people like, what in the fuck you talking about? Oh God, I don't know why y'all watch me. I really don't know why. I'm so weird. But anyway, Mondo Weiss. It says Trump is playing a dangerous game with Iran. And to be honest with you, yeah. Trump is giving all of the signs that he wants to attack Iran. For Israel, by the way. Like, people don't know that. Like, Israel wants a war with Iran. And, they want to use the United States as a proxy. Because Israel wants not only to take over Gaza, they want to they have power because they got the United States behind them, which I don't approve of. Like, I'm just so fucking mad at our government for sending my tax dollars. I had to bust and slave my ass to pay to the government because hey, the laws are written the way they're written. I mean, if I had my way, my tax dollars would go to food stamps, healthcare. Like, Israel already has healthcare, and we're giving our tax dollars to Israel. I just don't understand. But for the read this opinion piece, I'm not gonna read all of it. It's on Mondo Weiss. It says, while Israel continues to ratchet up tension and anger throughout the Arab world with this escalated genocide in Gaza, its thoroughly unprovoked attacks on Lebanon and Syria, and its growing aggression on the West Bank, the United States is playing a very dangerous game with Iran. The U.S. has been bolstering its presence in the Middle East with deployments hitting record highs in recent weeks. A great deal of equipment seems to have been transferred to American bases in Qatar, Bahrain, in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Jordan. More ominously, sorry about that, the U.S. has also sent 6 B-2 bombers to its base to the island of Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. The B-2 is the plane used to deliver the newest version of so-called bunker buster bombs, which are designed to penetrate deep into the ground, threatening Iran's subterranean nuclear facilities in a way Israel is not capable of. Yeah, so again, like, they implicated Israel again. Like, yeah, like they want to basically destroy their nuclear arsenal in Iran. So yeah, I mean, oh god, this is getting wild. It says Donald Trump is clearly using these new deployments to threaten Iran, but does he intend to launch a massive attack, or is he trying to frighten Iran into conceding to his demands about their nuclear program? As usual with Trump, there may not be a grand design at work here, and the signals he is sending are mixed. Gulf Arab states have reiterated their absolute rejection of the use of their airspace to attack Iran. That remains something deterrent to Trump. Yet that refusal what makes the deployment of the B-2s to Diego Garcia so ominous. The island is in the Indian Ocean, about 2,500 miles from Iran. Planes launch from that base need not to fly over the Arab space to reach Iran. The planes have a longer flight, but is well within the range of the B-2. The flight would also be over Iran airspace for a longer period, but the B-2 has advanced stealth technology, so it will be harder for Iranian air defense to detect and target it. The additional troop equipment and deployment to American air bases are likely being carried out in anticipation of Iran retaliation to an attack. It is unlikely that Iran will respond with an attack on Diego Garcia, given its distance from Iranian forces. It says it is more likely that Iran will attack American bases in the Gulf. In that case, Arab resolve to forbid attacks being launched from their territory is likely to weaken. Should Iran decide to retaliate by attacking oil fields in the Arab Gulf countries, a response that will likely be more keenly in Washington than an attack on troops, it is more likely that there will be no restraints on any American response. Moreover, even if there was, the U.S. would be very likely to ignore them. Given all of this, there is every reason to believe that the Trump administration is getting up for war. I'm gonna read this here and I'm gonna end it here. It says, is Trump trying to force Iran to concession? There are also signs that Trump may be doing all of this to get Iran to cave into his demands. There are good reasons he wants to avoid a full-scale attack on Iran. Trump sells himself as the anti-war president, which is a fucking lie, which we can easily write off as nonsense. But he does gather a good deal of support from sectors that, while they might love seeing the U.S. bomb helpless people in Yemen, are very strongly opposed to seeing American soldiers fighting and dying in Mideast wars, which they see little gain for the U.S. As cowardly as that attitude is, it's fine to kill foreign civilians as long as no American blood is spilled. It seems to matter to Trump. Then it says here, on Monday, while his massive military buildup was reaching its peak, Trump announced that he will be visiting Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar in May. The timing of that trip seems odd if he intends to literally set off the Gulf aflame in an attack on Iran. Indeed, Trump set a 2-month deadline in mid-March for Iran to agree to dismantle its nuclear capabilities. Because of Israel, the warning was vague. Trump did not specify when the clock would start on ticking on the 2 months, and he didn't clarify on what he sought in a new nuclear deal. It says Iran has rejected negotiations on the threat of attack and direct talks with the Trump administration in general. However, Tehran has shown an openness to indirect talks with Washington. So yeah, man, like Iran said, we ain't got time for this shit. But yeah, the only reason why Trump doing this because, he's Israel's bitch. Marion Allison gave the man, millions of dollars. So yeah. Why not just cave to Israel's demands by destroying their nuclear structure? Oh, guys, we live in a fucking cartoon. All right, guys, one last story. Like the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I know I suck at this shit. That's why I want to make Tired Peasant and Mike the head of this, because they better talkers than me and they are more likable. So like the video, but I'm holding it down. All right, guys. So, yeah. Shout out to Mark Lamont Hill, man. He told the truth here. He's basically talking about Cory Booker's 25-hour nothing burger of a speech, and then it wasn't even a filibuster speech. It's basically just him running off for 25 hours because they weren't arguing on no bill. It's kind of like, I guess it was a protest to Trump or some shit, which, again, it's like you could talk all day, but are you going to have any action? And this is what Mark Lamont Hill will get into. So I'm going to play this and break this down as we go.
Senator Cory Booker just made history, holding the Senate floor for a record 23 hours in a fiery rebuke of Donald Trump and the GOP's agenda, from healthcare.
Actually, it was 25 hours. He said 23.
Cuts to Elon Musk's shady government takeover. Cory Booker didn't hold back. Question is, what does it mean? Is this political theater, or is this an actual fight, however imperfect, for the people?
Obviously the answer is it's political theater. I guess, Democrats, they base say, hey, aren't y'all gonna fight? and one of them said, hey Cory Booker, get your ass in there and do a 25-hour nothing burger, to show these people that we are fighting, which y'all not. That's what I think. But don't continue.
On the Senate floor, Cory Booker called out Republicans for pushing dangerous policies that could absolutely devastate working class Americans, especially Black and brown communities. He invoked John.
Let's not forget that Chuck Schumer basically gave the Republicans what they want and cut Medicaid. So yeah, this is how I know it's political theater. I think then Chuck Schumer come out and congratulate him for that. I'm like, bro, you sided with cutting Medicaid, and you just it's a joke. It's a joke.
John McCain's legendary healthcare vote, warning that Trump and his allies are coming for Medicaid and more. He gave this marathon speech that he delivered without food, without rest, without a bathroom break.
I believe this guy wore a diaper. He had to wear a diaper. Ain't no way you go 25 hours without shitting. I mean, not shitting, without pissing. I mean, shitting too. But come on, man. No way. This guy had a diaper on, bro. Had to.
And he was delivering a fairly clear message. Let me be clear. This wasn't a filibuster.
Yeah.
This was just a message that these are, quote, not normal times in America. That's a message that a lot of people need to hear, that people need to be reminded of. He decided over this 2-day period to really break down what he considers to be the significant harms that President Trump has presented to the American people. Just for context, if you want to nerd out on this, the record that he set today, not that long ago, was 25 hours and 5 minutes. Now, before that, the record was 24 hours and 18 minutes. That was 1957. You want to know who the person was?
Sean Thurman.
Strom Thurmond. And guess what? Strom Thurmond was rebuking at the time. Homeboy was against the Civil Rights Act. So this is definitely a different kind of energy, I'll just say. Anyway, nothing got done today. No legislative business. No advancement of any congressional labor went on. It's also important to note that this wasn't a pushback against a specific bill. This wasn't one of those moments where Cory Booker was trying to block a bill or rebuke a bill or push back against the bill or garner support for or against the bill. That wasn't it. He used this as an opportunity to speak out against the Trump agenda. And it's so interesting to me that so many of you all are asking me what I think about it. It makes me think, and I ain't trying to, subject y'all to any psychological analysis, no undue psychological analysis. But I will say, it seems like some of y'all are afraid to say what y'all think about this. That some of y'all are like, this look kind of whack to me, but I don't want to say it. Or y'all like, yo, this looks pretty awesome, and I don't want to say it because I'm scared I'm wrong. Like, there's something to it because y'all don't usually.
Yeah, I say this like a liberal will see it, and yeah, he's fighting. The Democrats are finally fighting. They finally doing something. And people like me or any other normie that's don't like either side are looking like nothing burger. Like it don't amount to nothing. It really doesn't amount to nothing. It just it's political theater.
Ask me this fervently and this consistently what I think about it, but I'm going to tell you what I think about it. First, Cory Booker has a history, and I would argue a knack for spectacle, for making a spectacle. This is the guy that, when he was mayor of Newark, would, sleeping in the housing projects. And, he just had a way to draw attention, to get eyeballs on him, to get the world to pay attention to him. And that's not a criticism. It's not a dig. It's not a slight. Political activism requires a spectacle. Political organizing requires a spectacle. Political strategies.
Yeah, like protesting. Like, I agree with that. Yeah, it does. Like, it's a difference between like you doing, to me, you doing a spectacle. You just doing it to make yourself look like a hero, or you doing a spectacle and actually trying to enforce change. Like Cory Booker on what I think is like, I didn't even know about that. He was sleeping in the projects and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know that. Damn, I didn't know he was mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Damn, boy, that's a political commentary. I think I need to know this shit, but yeah, man. Anyway, it's like, yeah, man. I see this guy. He's gearing up to run in 2028, and I think he got this to fall back on, saying that, hey, I broke a record of a racist that didn't want civil rights, and and then I'm fighting the Trump agenda. So that's what I get out of it. Like, this don't amount to shit. But anyway, what Cory Booker did for 25 hours.
And tactics across the board require some level of dramatization. Because right now, as we see, the whole world, or at least the whole country, is talking about Cory Booker's actions, which then gets us to talk about Donald Trump's administration. So I'm not surprised that Cory Booker did this. This is kind of what he does. And I'm not against the spectacle. The spectacle is important. It's always important to have people draw attention to a problem, to, as Dr. King said, dramatize a situation. I'm with that. Question is, what are we dramatizing? What are we not? It is mind-boggling to me that someone could spend 25 hours on the floor criticizing Trump and Trump's administration without speaking about the genocide in any substantive way. That's just me.
That right there. That right there. Yeah, exactly. Like, well, that's the reason why Mark Lamont Hill, that old guy, did not speak up on it. Let me see. Did I get a graphic? Thought I had a graphic here on my computer. I swear to God I had one. Apparently I don't. But yeah, the guy takes almost $900,000 from AIPAC and other Israel lobbies. That's all combined, by the way. $900,000. So yeah, of course he's not going to talk about the genocide, because he's obviously, if AIPAC giving you money, that means you side with the what's happening in Gaza. And as a black man, like, I think being a black Zionist is, you really a piece of crap. Like I'm just saying, like considering what happened to us in history and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you supporting a genocide of indigenous people in their own country, like literally in their own country, getting bummed because Israel have to fulfill this prophecy in this book that's been written by man. By the way, nobody want to talk about that. God, yep, yeah, man. Like even like some Democrats with healthcare talk about Cory Booker. They said what he did was good, but he take money from AIPAC and he didn't talk about the genocide in Gaza, so he ain't feeling it. So yeah, a lot of people is on that level, basically.
There's many issues on the table. If you say he was just focusing on domestic policy issues, maybe. But Cory Booker is an art scientist. Cory Booker is super pro-Israel, and so it's not a coincidence that of all the atrocities, all the awfulness that he thinks about Trump, somehow that didn't make the cut. Just want to point that out. But beyond that, Cory Booker spoke to some major issues that affect corporate America, that affect Wall Street, that affect Main Street, that affect the people in the projects, that affect the people in the C-suites. He went across the board to talk about the relationship between those things. I'm not saying he was giving shout outs or showing love to the 1%. I'm saying he was talking about the relationship between these policies that benefit the 1% and the realities on the ground.
Oh, our car's value went up.
Maybe we should track all our cars' value.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm glad that he drew the policies. Cory Booker, I wish were to the left of where he is. I wish Cory Booker were actually having a critique of capitalism. I wish Cory Booker wanted to change fundamentally the way this world, or at least this country, operates as. But he wasn't. But he's still saying, look, y'all, there's a fire.
Exactly. Exactly right there, too. Another good point by Mark Lamont Hill. It's like, somebody that's in Cory Booker's statue, it's only so far you're gonna push. This is why one thing I hate about politics is this red team, blue team thing. See, he can't talk about he can't talk against capitalism because number one, he benefits from capitalism. Number two, his party gets money from the billionaire class, which loves capitalism. So it's if he's some Cory Booker was out on there saying capitalism is fucking over everybody that's working class, and he wouldn't have a job anymore in the government as senator, right? Yeah. So man, it's that's not gonna happen. Especially,
look, y'all, we got a serious fundamental problem in this country that can't be fixed when Donald Trump is president. In fact, it has been created or at least exacerbated because Donald Trump is president. I'm with all of that. And if it gets people paying attention, if it gets people talking, then it was not in vain. But let's be clear. These spectacles are not the work. They are an entry point into the work. Yes, call out Elon Musk. Yes, talk about the healthcare cuts. Yes, talk about the job loss. Talk about all of that. But none of it's going to amount to a hill of beans, as the kids say in the streets, if we don't do some real organizing work elsewhere. If we don't do real political education elsewhere. Because while he talked for 25 hours, people weren't listening for 25 hours. This was the spectacle. Just like when Dr. King stood on that Pettus Bridge, that was the spectacle. That was not the work. I mean, it's part of the work, but that's not the totality of the work. Cory Booker drew attention, but how are we going to organize? How are we going to teach? How are we going to pull? And how are we on the left, the real left, going to say, look, Cory Booker took us here, but there's more to go. There's more of a critique. There's a more substantive analysis here. Because if we don't have a critique of the state, if we don't have a critique of capitalism, if we don't have a critique of these mechanisms that sort of shape how the world operates, then all we're going to do is wait for another liberal messiah. We're going to wait for the next Gavin Newsom or the next Andrew Cuomo or the next Tim Walz or the next what's his name, Josh Shapiro. We're just going to be waiting for the next Democratic leader to come and take us into the same ridiculous hellhole. We need more than that.
I'm going to end it there. But yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, you gotta, well, I'm going to take it a step further from what Mark Lamont Hill says, but you got to take it but you got to go beyond electoral. You got to take oh yeah, I said, what the hell, man? I've been talking all day, guys. I've been on tea time. Now I'm on this, so excuse me if I'm, losing my energy a little bit. It's not intentional, it's just yeah. Like that's why us radical leftists are trying to tell people need to leave the duopoly, man. Like change is not going to happen on the federal level. Like some of these people expect the next, for example, Democratic leader to save them, which they're not going to do that. Again, they really actuality is going to continue Trump's policies. Did Biden continue the trade wars with China? He kept those tariffs in China. Some people don't even know that. So you think this next, I don't think the Democrats going to win for a long time. I have my reasons, but I'm not going to explain them here. But yeah, let's say if a next Democrat become president, like all of that research that Trump and Elon Musk is cutting, you can't just bring back this shit, 4 years has been gone, then you got to bring it back. I mean, they got to start all over from the top. That's what I said. I call out Trump too. I call out Elon. But again, it's the organizing part. That's got to be outside of the duopoly. You gotta talk to your neighbors. You got to do mutual aid. You got to educate. That's the things you got to do, and I got to do that as well. It's not gonna be easy, but you got to do action. 25 hours of talking about nothing. And they know that that's not gonna change nothing. Come on, did Chuck Schumer vote along with the Republicans and a few other Democrats vote along to cut $800 million in Medicaid? That right there shows you all you need to know. So yeah, y'all. Yeah, man. Mark Lamont Hill, man. I really like the evolution of Mark Lamont Hill. He's finally getting it now. It takes time for people to understand the real ambiguities of the system. I get that. It took me a while to be where I'm at. That's why I try not to superly shit on liberals and conservatives, because I know that I was like them at one point too. But some of them, man, they never going to learn. They're never going to learn. And you hope that some of them will come out of the two-party system and realize that, yeah, you protesting Trump, but the Democrats don't give a fuck about you anyway. And one last thing before I close it out, timwalz even said it, hey, we look at Trump approval rating is 29%. 25%. Hell, we at 29%. timwalz know what the problem is. He just ain't gonna say it. So yeah, y'all, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I surely did. I love doing these. These are my therapy. I don't be in the best of headspace, but I don't let that deter me from not doing this, because I love doing this. On the bottom of your ticker, follow the ATP Network crew. I'm going to add Damien to it. He's back on the network. I've just been so busy and stuff. And follow the official ATP Network Twitter account at ATP Network 247. And like the video. I always say like the video. I think that's what y'all listen to. Y'all watch me talk. Like the video. It don't cost you nothing. So yeah. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. And if you're on Twitter watching this, ATP Network's on YouTube and Rumble. Check us out on there. And also we on Twitch too. We're surprisingly on Twitch we're getting more viewers. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm shocked we getting those amount of viewers on Twitch now. We used to get one viewer, now we up to 6 or 7. So yeah, hey, it takes time, man. Yeah, I gotta be. I know I gotta be more patient. You know, sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is not good enough, but I know that the system is pinned against you, especially on these platforms. Like, they don't want us to talk the stuff we talk. It's not acceptable content to them. See, if I was talking about sports all the time, I do have a sports channel, by the way, Sports Time with Andre. I post to make at least once or two episodes a week, you know, but I'm gonna get there, guys. You know, and I'm not doing it for the clicks. I just, you know, hey, you ain't got to be serious all the time. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching the Good Faith Show. Andre Moore signing out. No, yeah, by the way, fuck Benjamin Netanyahu.